Hi, beautiful Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me. You literally look so hot, like an eight. You're like, how's the light? I'm like, you look hot like an angel.
Oh, cute.
It's perfect. So we were already getting goosebumps. I was like, we gotta just start. Let's not say too much. So yeah, the first reason is what I was just saying to you. The reason I wanted to have you on is because of exactly you. Of like, you're so freaking worthy. You're so freaking good enough. I love your story. I love the effort you put in. I love your transformation. I love how you show up. I love how you're still committed. You've been in the program for months. You know, it's not like you just showed up for 5 seconds and was like looking for someone to save you. And you've just had incredible transformation. So I've got goosebumps already. So, okay, that's why I wanted to have you on. So I'm so proud of you. And let's start with just give her a little introduction. And first thing, what we always start with is why did you come into the Purpose program? What
Mm.
did you need help with?
Yeah, I was waking up in the morning and just like asking myself, what is the meaning with this life? And I was like, and almost every day I was asking myself, what is the meaning with your life? What do you want to do? And also I felt like I was in going the day, I was feeling I was sleeping, but I was awake, like I'm in this big dream,
Cloud,
and
super
yeah,
cloud,
and
foggy.
yeah, and life is like passing by me, and I'm not like here in this moment. It was like so weird, and then I was also really overwhelmed. I didn't like felt good about my job. I was like exhausting because I was going, dropping off the kids at school, and then I will go to work, and then I will come home, and it was like this circle. I was like feeling like, what is the meaning? As
Yeah. Like
what should I do with my life?
what the heck is going on? Like this can't this can't be what life really is, right? Like we can't
Yes.
be born to just like suffer and feel miserable and exhausted. Like question.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it looked like I had everything, and I have all these things. I have a job. I should be thankful, but it was not like I was not connected to myself. And then I felt like really empty inside, and I had like this big anxiety. I had panic attacks. I had flashbacks. I had everything. I maybe had also depression that I didn't like not what was aware of. And the bad thing was also I was like starting to drink at night. Then I would wake up the next morning feeling like exhausting, feeling like I want to throw up. And it
Yes.
just everything like just started to being too much for
Yes.
me.
Oh man, I'm covered in goosebumps and I can so
Mm,
freaking relate because when we feel so bad, we're like,
mm,
like in your soul, okay, this isn't working. I have to do something. And then what do? Shit that makes us feel even worse. We freaking drink.
mm,
We freaking binge eat. We don't
yeah,
work out.
yeah.
We go on our phone all day. It's like, ah! And
Mm,
it's so mind blowing because I always say that just moving to Bali, like I initially did feel better because I was outside all the time and I didn't do that
mm,
when I lived in Orange County because I didn't even have a mirror in my house. So in Orange County, every reflection I walked by, I was like, this is disgusting. You're so fat. You're so, ugh. And like, I didn't even see my reflection in Bali for like months. So there was just like a huge, and I stopped drinking because I didn't have the money. And I was like, I got in a motorbike accident. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go out and drive the motorbike drunk. So there was just like a few changes that I made instantly that like helped me. I mean, that didn't save me because was suicidal years after.
mm,
But it is so wild that we can just look. It's like, well, what are you eating? Like, is it all
mm,
preservatives? Are you getting any, natural healthy foods? How much water are you drinking? We're boozing.
mm.
That just magnifies the fog. I can totally relate. So, okay, how long have you been in the Purpose program, and how did you find me?
I was in the purpose program since the end of May,
Okay.
and I'm still
For 6 months.
continuing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Isn't it
and
amazing that I didn't kick you
yeah,
out or I don't make
no,
anybody quit after 6 weeks? It's like, isn't that awesome?
it's I love it. It's like for lifetime, and that's amazing. Like I always feel like welcome in the group and my sisters. And I did find you through Facebook. It was this ad
Facebook.
like coming up, and then I was like starting watching your YouTube videos. I was like screaming, like writing down some things that you like said, and I was like, I was trying to do these things, but I didn't really know how like do the inner
Yeah.
work. I was like, and I was trying. I felt better, and I do these meditations that you put out, but I wasn't there. And then I
Right.
felt like one day, okay, now I want to go into the purpose program, and I signed up. And this day, oh my, I was in the bus, my way on work, and I was signing up, and I was like, I almost cried. You know, it's
Oh,
like I came at work, I felt like this day my life will change. I really felt like that. I
oh,
don't know. It
I'm
just was like,
goosebumps. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Your energy is so amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that. And that's why we do so much free content. You know what I mean? And because it's like okay, I could say, you're ready, Sarah. And you'd be like, no, I'm fucking not. It's like until you're like ready. And that's the really
yeah.
beautiful thing about divine timing and about being a grown up is you get to choose. It's like, I didn't tell you to go run a mile so you're not fat. You're like, I love my body, so I'm going to go work out. It's just like, what a difference when you know what I mean? Because when we're
Mhm.
not ready, we hear things like it's always like, oh, I'm not good enough, and so we're in this defense mode. But I feel like
Mm.
that moment when you're on the bus going to work and you just like feel this opening, and you gave
Yeah.
me goosebumps. I know you had that realness. It's like that openness is like, oh my god, I get to do that, and that is
Mm.
such an empowering shift from you have to do that, and then we hear things like I know I heard everybody tell me you're not good enough, and they weren't telling me that. That's what I was hearing because that's how I
Mm.
felt, you know. Were you
Totally.
scared? Well, let's just talk. I mean, we're all scared. What
Mm.
were the what were the fears? Was it like money? Ah, like what was it like? What if was there any fears, you know, or or did you follow me for long enough to where you got like value out of the free stuff, and then you're like, okay, I've done so much with the free stuff. Now I'm like ready to go all in.
Money was not a that big fear for me. It's like I need to work on this, but it's not the biggest fear. But it was like, can I connect with everyone? Can I connect with this woman? And I was always like jealous of other women, or I felt like they were jealous with me. And I will
Yes.
always say, I don't get along with women. I just get
Yes.
along with guys. And
Yes, I said the
yeah,
same thing. I was like, I hang out with the guys, but and
yeah.
same. I was super freaking jealous of the women that had more than me and the ones that had less. I'm like, ugh, they're so jealous of me. Like,
And I know when I came into the program, and I did some videos, and after 1 week I was like starting like compare myself to the others, and
yes,
I was like, they get so many comments, why didn't I get? And I was like feeling I didn't get the support, but this was me, like that
yes,
was good.
it's what you came in with, right? I love it.
Yeah.
We kind of expect. I did the same thing, and who I just did a testimonial with Sophia, and she's like, I remember I was so in my head on my first intro video. Someone was like, wow, your energy is so soft, and she's in her head, she's like, I'm not soft. Oh, what do you think? And it's so funny because it's like, dude, like I expect that everybody comes in because they have some serious problems getting out of their head. So like we totally plan for that, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
as long as everybody kind of, it might look a little bit different. Like someone else might, like, yeah, Sophia's little ego reaction was different than your ego reaction, but we all have ego reactions. So,
Mm,
so yeah, it's like, you know, just because we paid the money and came in for a week doesn't mean that our ego, it's like not like a tooth that we can pull. It's like
yeah.
there's no destination. So I love your honesty. And I remember that. And
Mm.
we had a chat. We were like, whatever we think the world is withholding from us, we are withholding
Yeah.
from the world.
Yeah.
I have this conversation with myself every day, sis. Like, I'm
I
like,
had to take it, and I get the support from women like from Cecilia and all the other women, and it was like mind blowing. And
yes, they
and
said
this,
I know what you feel like. I
yeah,
felt like that when I came in too.
yeah, and I was like, this was like as a mind blowing. It was like changing everything. Like then my mind was like open and was, oh my god, like I
I just didn't see
yeah,
it because, like, yeah,
yeah.
like I said, you know, we'll see things that aren't really there because of that's how we feel.
Mm.
I love that. So, okay, what was then? Was it right after that, or what would have been the immediate shift in your, ability to embody and like just be love? I mean, my nipples are hard right now talking to you. That's how amazing your energy is. So, how fast was it? Was that it, or was there another? Was it the meditations, or was it something else? I want to know the immediate one, like the fastest one
Yeah.
straight away that you felt, and what it was.
It was like doing these meditations in the beginning, and one interesting thing that happens was like my father's sister, she died for several years ago, and in the first meditations I did, she came up immediately, because when she died I didn't process it. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I cried one time and that was it, and I didn't get a touch into the feelings, but
Right.
she came up and all the feelings came up, and I felt like she's my guardian
Guardian
angel. And then
angel, I'm covered
yeah, it was like I was starting to cry, and all the memories came
Wow.
up, and I was like, all these feelings that I've been like hiding all these years, like
And you don't
here
know
inside.
how. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
if we don't know how, guess what we do? It's like
Mm.
putting that in the freaking vault and locking the
Yeah.
door. Totally.
And I felt embodied. I always like went through the world angry, and I was like angry
Yes,
at
same.
everyone and blaming, and I felt like when I was going at work, people noticed as I was embodied, and they asked me what did I do, or they were like curious, and I was telling them about everything, and they were like, wow. It was like they like felt this
They
change,
feel your
they could.
love.
Yeah.
Totally.
And my
We don't have to
children.
prove it. Okay, tell me about
Yeah.
your kids. I love the kids.
Yeah, I
Oh
need
my
to tell you about,
gosh.
especially my daughter, because
Mhm.
she's 8 and she's like, my son is two and a half. So I feel his like love also opened up to me. But my
Yes.
daughter, she was like just looking at me and saying, "Mommy, like you like changed. You're like so open. You always were like open and loving, but you're like in a whole different way. Like you're so happy, and I never seen you this like before."
Oh,
And I was like, this was like mind blowing. And then she like started like to help children at her school, and like she like donates her money that she gets from us, and
oh,
she's like doing all these amazing things. She started asking me to meditate, so she's meditating at
oh,
night, like
what
all
amazing.
these things. It's like mind blowing
Oh
that your
my gosh, I
children.
feel so yeah, up to my because it's like they're I Chris and I were watching a show about a mother who was suicidal, and she actually tried to commit suicide but it didn't work, and she left her child a suicide note, but she didn't die, and so the child found it, and like she had been crying in front of it, and it's like I know like this just like
Mm,
is part of my why, same as yours. I know that when I felt so hopeless and broken, I couldn't control it. Like I was so angry, and I felt so alone. It didn't matter if there was a kid there. Like I would have still been like that. Like you can't control it. That's the whole point. So it's like, of course, if I couldn't control it, and then of course, if we have a kid, we can't control it. You know what I mean? And so just that they're so smart because they just
yeah.
simplify everything. Like we just like overcomplicate and over dramatize this how and the kids are just so in it. They're like, yes,
Oh.
like either like just yes or no, and like they feel it so strong. And it's just like for her to be able to put that into words, it's just like I feel so much love is I mean, that just is my why. Like this is my favorite thing to hear. To me, this is like the most priceless treasure in the
Mm,
whole world because it's true. Like if we feel so like worthless and someone's like, "Hey, you can stay worthless and here's $1 million," or you can learn how to be in your body and feel proud of yourself. It like you would always choose the happiness. You wouldn't choose the
yeah.
million. Nobody
No.
would. I mean, hello. So it's just like
Yeah.
so priceless. That is amazing.
Mm,
Um, yeah, we have this obviously similar superpower, which is our energy. That's why I think the meditations like resonate so strong with you. So, um, what did you try before purpose that didn't work for you? Like, what did you try, and were you kind of hopeless at that point? Because I know you're spiritual. Like, I know that you
mm,
understand consciously,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
So, tell me what you did before purpose.
Yeah, I read some books about law of attraction and spirituality, and I try to meditate, like from YouTube meditations. And I felt sometimes I could get into my body, but it was like really short moments. And then I went to a psychologist, and I have this like talks, and we talk about
Right.
everything, but I never felt like I get these tools. I always felt like, "Oh, I need to go to my psychologist to talk about this and that. I need to talk about this and that," and I would
I
continue
need
with
to
my
go
pattern.
complain, isn't it? Like, I
Yeah,
need to go complain. Let me, can I come over and complain? That's what I did. But my poor dad,
yeah.
I like called him all the time to complain. It's like, oh my God, I should have been paying him $100 a freaking bitch session because poor him, you know.
Yeah, I was complaining a lot, and I was trying, like, this
Same.
was, I was trying to read some books, and I was trying to help myself most of the
Yes.
time. I
Yes.
did went to a lot of people. I was like most of the time doing like that, and that didn't work for sure. It was like I always feel like alone, so it was like,
Yes. It's because you're the strong one, right? You're the one that always takes care of everyone else. So it doesn't,
yeah,
I always ask, like, why did you, because they're like, everybody says, I wish I would have done this sooner. And obviously, we don't have a regret because, yeah, like, of course, it would have been awesome if I wasn't suicidal and didn't get into an abusive marriage. But, like, that is my superpower. Like, I actually get to help the women that go to therapy for years and don't get help because the therapist hasn't done it and they don't know how to help them. And it's like amazing, you know, we get to break the cycle. Like, our daughters are not going
mm,
to be in abusive relationships. Like,
yeah,
that is wow, because I'm the
mm,
first one that's, you know, breaking this like generational cycle. So that is amazing. But the strong women like us, and this is was like me, was I was like, well, asking for help is like only for freaking losers who like can't
yeah,
out. Like, I'm not an
mm,
idiot and I'm not weak and I'm not a victim. I
yeah,
was really, really connected to I'm not a victim, even though I was the biggest victim in the room.
mm,
Oh my God,
totally.
because oh God,
Everything you
I'm not a
say,
victim.
yeah, I
You
felt
feel
exactly the same. I wouldn't cry like in front of people. I wouldn't like tell about myself. I wouldn't tell my story, like to be able to tell my story this open. I would never do that before.
right.
Oh my God, if
Same.
someone would like see
Yeah.
or hear me, it
I'm not
was,
perfect, right? It was like, yeah,
uh,
there's no way I'm going to tell anybody I'm not perfect. That's how I was. So I was like, put the smile on and the Instagram filter and the positive quote while you're fucking
uh,
dying. Like, that's so how I was. Okay, so why do you think the purpose program worked for you? And well, first, let's get to one more question before that. So let's just jump back from the old Sarah to the new Sarah.
yeah,
And I want to know, like, I want you to just braggy, 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 because you are the guest of honor and we are here for you. And
yeah,
like, fuck, to be living in a place where you never thought you were good enough to be like my guest of honor and me like so braggy, like, bitches, you can have this if you show up. Like, that's amazing. You know, like we celebrate our wins in our tribe. We
mm,
don't play small. Like, you would have
no,
never been inspired if I was like, oh well, like, yeah, I'm just like a little happier, like I make a little money, like you would, ugh, that's like not inspiring. It's like you can do all of it, you know. So give me a
yeah.
little bit of the old you and then, yeah, the new you and the
Mm.
amazing things that you have done for yourself.
Yeah, the old me was like, as a child, I was like really shy. And then one day I was just like turning out. I was like in my teenage years, I was getting into like relationships. And then I would get like so angry. I was angry at everyone and everything. I
Yeah.
was like, then I was like always seeking that someone approval from others, and I would like use my body. I would get into this like toxic relationships, and I was like using my body to attract and to get like validation through that. And I had like always this anxiety and panic attacks. I was always like feeling I can't breathe, and I felt like bad about myself. And outside I would look like angry, really angry and like defensive, and I was always like ready to fight. Just say one word, I was like like
I wish you would.
always
Totally.
ready, blaming my parents, blaming everyone.
Oh my
And
God. I literally feel like we're twins. I'm like, we
uh,
separated at birth. Like, we're legit twins. Okay.
but inside like so insecure. And then I was like
Yes.
getting into this relationship with my like partner, and just like had our issues, both me and him,
Yes, of
and
course.
I was seeing like this red flags, but I was always like, oh, love, and this is, I can change, and I was like that. And then
I can
when
change
I
it. Yeah.
I can change, and
Yeah.
then I was like, I was like, when I got my daughter, and even before, I developed this like shopaholic addiction, and I would start
Yes.
like buying all. I always like wanted to like look a certain way. I was like looking at others like models and like women.
Yeah.
I was like, they were so hot. I need to look hot for him and for
Yeah.
myself, and like I needed to present it myself in this way. And this addiction gets so bad. I buy so much stuff, and I was like feeling so bad, and
Yeah.
I didn't like care about myself, about my children. I was like
And it doesn't
so
work. Isn't that crazy? That no matter how much we get on the outside, I used to spend my freaking lunch money on shopping. Like I can so
yeah.
relate. So I was like, oh, if I like have this nice outfit, then like I'll feel good. But
Mm.
it
Yeah,
lasts
it
for
was
like 5 seconds,
always.
buy it, and then it goes away, you know?
And it was always like, if I have this, I will feel like that.
Yeah.
I was chasing always something, never like feeling in my body. So it was
Yeah.
like, and I was always like angry at the world, blaming everyone. I would get so much fights and conflict, so much drama around me. It was like,
Yes.
and it was always like, why me and poor me? And now I have two children. What should I do? And I was always like feeling bad about myself and for
Yes.
myself. And one thing was also I was putting myself in situations that I knew I didn't want to be, and I will feel bad. But I like, it's like you said it, like we need suffer until we
We need
don't. And
yeah, yeah. It's like I'm gonna prove what a piece of shit I am by walking
yeah,
myself into this situation.
and the biggest thing was also I was like really controlling. I wanted to control my
Yes.
partner, my
Yeah.
children. I was like overprotective. I was like acting psycho, like getting
Yeah.
into fights with like the teachers, everyone
Oh.
at work. I was like,
I
so
could laugh so hard because you were like so sweet and like the kindest one and so loving. But like I was like that with Chris. Like he would like on Instagram I'd be like, and then he'd come home and I'd be, why did you meditate? Why did you see this? And I was so controlling, but it was because I just felt like so out of control. So okay, old Sarah. So new Sarah, I mean, is the biggest game changer that you actually know like how to get into your body and
mm,
connect to. It's like a, I see it as like an everlasting limitless flow of love because it's just from the
yeah,
source. So it's like
yeah.
if I'm not feeling it, I'm like, hold up, girl, you know how to. So okay, tell me about the new Sarah.
Yeah, I get like I can get fast into my body. I can control myself. And I trust. The biggest thing about me now is I trust. I trust everything will be alright, and I don't need to chase everyone or anything. I don't need to prove. I can speak my truth, like be grounded, and it is hard at times, of course, but I
Yeah,
just do it, and I feel like better afterwards. I work on
totally.
myself like every day. I'm putting in the work, and I share so much love, so much energy. I get back so much love. And it was like my neighbor was like asking me, I didn't get like, before I get my new apartment, she was like, how is it going? And I was like, I know I will get it. And then I told her yesterday, like, I see her, I get my apartment. And she was like, you're like, you were like so sure about it. You were like so calm and sure. And she was like, so what? She was
Yeah,
like,
like what?
oh
Yeah,
my
isn't it? I'm
God.
only gonna say thank you once I get it. I'm only gonna trust
Yeah.
once I get it, and I'm like, that's like manifesting 101. So
Yeah.
you got a new job, didn't you? Since you've been in the
Yes, into
program.
the program, the first thing that was happened like was like I get my new job, and it was like I'm a social worker, so I'm working with children. So it was like such a big thing to get this job. I wanted for years, and I
Yeah.
didn't felt like I deserve it, and now felt like, yeah, this is this job, and it's mine. And then I get this like I get my new apartment. I'm moving like February the 1st, so it's like I'm so
Oh,
excited about
and
that.
you're making like we talked about this before we started recording, like not everybody wants to be in service, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure you know people that are like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, how do you deal with the trauma and right? Because it's not like you're walking in, the butterfly is like they come to you because they have a problem. No one's coming to you because stuff is good. They're coming to you because there's a problem. So so we before we have this shift, it's like if I was just helping people, I would be happy. Like I used to say, if
Mm,
I just had clients, I would be happy, right? If I just had a job, doing what I wanted, I would be happy. But like you couldn't do this job until you actually
yeah,
could manage your
yeah,
own emotions. It's like, how are we going to manage like hundreds of people's egos if you can't even manage your own, right? Like it's
yeah,
just so that is such a simple, like if it's like a kid could understand, like, can you, if you have zero cookies, how many can you share? The kid would be like zero, but we can't see that. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, we need love
yeah,
to share. So you're in a role of service and you're glowing. Like most social workers are like black bags under their eyes,
yeah. It is true.
exhausted, overweight, like burnt out, alone because they're trying to save anybody. So, right, just like neglecting, and you're just like
Mm,
this angel shining of love, and it's just getting better. Am I right?
yeah, totally. I'm so open, like, and I can talk freely about myself. And I know some people thinking like, "Oh, this is like weird," because it's like this. But I'm like just continuing and doing.
And it's so funny because I forget, I told you when we did Rosie's workshop, I was like, and we had out people that weren't in the purpose program come in. I was like, oh my God, I forgot that there's people like women. I swear I turned on the Zoom call and because we had like almost 100 women, and there's the women that were in the purpose program or the Navy SEALs. It was like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, like I forgot that's like a thing, like just so
Oh,
grumpy and just looking so angry, and not because they're not good enough, but it's just the fear. It's like I have to defend
yeah,
myself. So the best way to not get hurt is to not open, because if I'm not vulnerable, then I can't get hurt. So
yeah,
my bubble is just like you. Like I'm surrounded by women who, and it's not because it was easier for you, or like, I mean, you could have quit at the first week, right? Was that not an
yeah.
option?
Mm,
Oh my God. But like
totally.
you didn't quit. And did I send you like a magic stew in the mail where it was like, all right, I'm gonna
No.
just Sarah, or like, like I mean, what the heck? Like it's just so amazing. So okay, why did it work for you? And what's the part of the recipe that like, because you saved yourself. I mean, I'm not God. So it's my like your hero's journey is yours, and that's what makes it so empowering and so beautiful, and that really is what inspires. Nobody's inspired by some bullshit lying like everything's fine while we're like, sending out negative freaking arrows to their face because we're all jealous of them. Like that doesn't help anybody.
Mm.
So yeah, why did the purpose program work for you? And then what are the parts that you really brought into it that you now can see that that's what I brought into my hero's journey, and that's what I did it. And then all your other sisters, like the ones that, have committed and shown up, like there's a part of it that like people are expecting me to mail them in the mail, and like you know what I mean. And then it's like, so yeah, those two questions: why did it work for you, and then what are the parts that you really put into the recipe that made it work for you?
For me, it worked the most. I was listening to your story, and it was like so open, so true. It wasn't this like all the fake stories that people can tell and like pretend. It was like you like were so open, like sharing from the heart. And also like the sisters, like they were also like open and sharing. And for me, um it worked like because it was like a place I could be like myself, be. And for the first time I was like I stopped hiding. I just like connected to everyone. I felt like it was a place, safe place for me to
Yeah,
share, and I got so much love. And also like you're like, I'm giving you the tools, and I was using the tools. I was like finding my way using the tools and the strategies. It's not like you were saving me or anyone
yeah,
else were
yeah,
saving me. And I
yeah,
connected all to my sisters, and I will like able to share like when I danced, I will able to share when I cry. And this was like the game changer for me, like. And I got this beautiful response, and I see then like other sisters starting to like be open and vulnerable and like being able to cry. And this was the game changer for me, like that
yeah,
that helped me so much. I'm like using the tools, and I'm using them every day. And it's
yes.
not like anyone will come and save me. And that's like the game changer for me. It changed my life like completely.
That was me. Oh,
Yeah.
weird. My sound just went out. I think it's back.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's back. That was so weird. My headphones just took a little glitch. Okay, well, I'll just cut that part out. So you said the game changer was you saving yourself, right?
Yeah. Using the tools and the strategies and connecting to my sister, and I felt all their love. I feel it like every day, like when I meditate and I connected to them, and it's like it's a different level. It's like hard to
Yeah.
explain. Like before,
Yes,
I
it
would maybe
is.
understand. Like,
Yes.
uh,
It's the because again, you really. I mean, it's the energy, isn't it? It really, it's the energy, and everybody who is in their greatness, like Michael Jordan talks about the energy. Here's where my energy was. Like I was just watching this Netflix documentary about a gospel choir with Pharrell, and he's like the energy, and I'm like, dude, this is it. Like it's the
yeah.
energy. Like it's just the energy, and you can't explain it. You have to feel it. But
Mm,
if people vibe off like, oh my gosh, the support and this love and this energy, then like it's a game changer, because it's
yeah.
almost like, don't you think that because there's so many women who are doing it, that you actually have to fight to not feel the love, right? You actually, it's
Yeah.
like jumping out of the canoe and no, I'm gonna go by myself and like try and go upstream, because we vibe off energy. That's like our blueprint. So it's like
Mm,
I see it as this like this like beautiful love like vacuum that just like sucks everybody up,
yeah.
and it's like you've got to find it if you don't. Like we're all positive, we're all like you can do it. Like we don't expect things to be perfect. We're totally human. We cry, we laugh, we share, we ask for help, we offer help. But like we're the thing is, we know we're not gonna quit. So it's like, unless you really don't want to feel better, I mean, you have to like try hard. You know what I mean? It's like you have to like
Yeah.
really fight it. And yeah. Okay, so I guess what's the moment that you're the most proud of then? Like, what would you be like, okay, I feel so proud of this. This is like this is like my queen moment. This is my energy moment. This is my badass moment.
God, it was so much at the past time. Like I think the most proud of I'm like how I connected like with my daughter, and like this love like she showed, and I felt like these moments like she just looking at me and telling me like, mommy, you changed, and I feel this like in my heart, and she's telling me all these things, and I'm like just looking at her. I'm like, it's mind blowing. Like I'm
Yeah.
so thankful every day. I'm thankful when I get up, and the mind blowing moment was also after I did my Wonder Woman post, and I was just waking up. Felt like I was free. Like I have nothing to hide. I'm free. I
Oh,
can be myself. I'm so worthy. And I was like actually waking up with tears of joy. I was like crying.
oh my
It was
God.
like,
Okay, how did you used to wake up? Let's just talk about this because I
oh
can
my God.
relate.
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to wake up before, like, I had like pain in whole my body and the back. I had anxiety. My heart was pumping like really fast. And I wake up, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to start the day. I was
yes.
overwhelmed already, just starting
Yes.
the day.
Yeah, I didn't even get out of bed yet. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I just wanted like to stay in my bed, and that was it. Like
So
before.
going from, I agree. Like, dude, I used to wake up with the I would, it was like I wasn't even awake yet fully. And the anxiety would start like, I mean, it blows my mind when like I've had family members be like, you don't know what it feels like to have anxiety. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, yeah, okay. Like, I do
Yeah.
know what that feels like. That was a while ago. But that just like, ugh, like I mean, I didn't sleep for like months. I wouldn't eat. I had diarrhea for like 6 years. Like I just had, my body was
Mm.
just in fight or flight. Like I was always sick. Something was always hurt. My back was so bad. I would get out like a cartoon and I'd be like crack and do this like crazy cartoon crack, and then like go to yoga and pretend like I was all like bouncy and energized. And
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, now it's like the gratitude and the tears of joy, and it really is just getting in your body. And it's like, if it blows my mind when people are like, "Oh, you have to like work," and I'm like, "But how is that work? Like, if I
Mm,
know you're not going to complain about having to go to the gym more than once, or like having to eat more than once. Like, it's how
mm,
humans are wired. Like, that's just how we're made. We're just wired to do it that way." I'm so proud of you. Your energy is literally lit. So, what would you tell a mama who can really resonate? Like, dude, you literally just described me like to a T. Like the controlling, the angry, right? The old Lani, the old Sarah. So she's living in the state of the old us, which doesn't mean she's not good
mm,
enough. And the craziest thing is like if we felt the exact same thing, doesn't that just go to show that how like non-creative the ego is? Like I
mm,
literally could have been you and you could have been me. So
mm,
but then now like your spirit and your creativity and your connection to the source, like that shit is like magnificent and heavenly. Like that's the part that's amazing. That's the part that's unique, not the pain. We
mm,
all have the pain. So what would you tell a
mm,
mama who's like really like that, just that gnarly desperation for something from the outside to fulfill
mm,
her? Isn't that what it is?
mm.
And how young are you, by the way? Ages doesn't matter, but what's your age?
I'm 32.
32. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so freaking proud of you for doing this at 32. Imagine where you're going to be when you're my age. Ah! Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow,
Um,
that makes me so excited. So yeah, the feeling that this just and the anger. What would you say to her if she's resonating and she there's like the mustard seed size of hope that like, well, maybe I can, right?
Mm. Yeah, I would like tell her like, don't let your ego like come in and stop you. You can do anything you want in your life. Like there is no limit. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And like there is no limit, and you're here in this world like to do something, and you have your purpose, and it's just there waiting for you. It's just like yourself, like be open and just try it, like be open and give it a chance, and you will see how you will feel and how your children will feel, and you will feel so much better. And you have so much to offer to this world. Like we are just waiting for this love, to share. So you can do anything. I would tell her there is no limit, like, and there is a purpose for everyone in this life. And don't stop yourself. Like, don't let like this old beliefs and the ego like stop yourself from this.
I am so proud of you. You're making me cry. Like, wow. It's just the moments like this where I get to watch a woman like completely I'm all
Mm,
um just take back her life. I'm so proud
mm.
of you. You
I'm
you got me, girl.
I'm also crying. Like I cry so often. Like sometimes I'm like my daughter's mommy, you're crying again, but it's like it's from love. Like and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, this is just um like the reason I can wake up and be like, okay, stop being a little bitch, or however maybe people talk to themselves more gently, but that makes me giggle, is because this is possible. Like I have so much faith in my creator because like I don't have to save you. So like if like my ego isn't my coach's problem, right? And it's just such a I just have so much faith. I know that this works because like I'm not the answer. Like the answer is within you, and I just get to show you like how to keep going within. So you got me all. You got me good, girl. I'm so proud of you, Sarah. I have so much love for you, and you're a freaking
mm,
inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing.
thank you. You're inspiration and all the woman. Like, this literally like saved my life. I can like, I cannot explain this in words. It's like in my heart, it's like everything. And I believe in all the women, everyone, can change. I know that.
I
No,
feel the same. I feel the same. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. You're a freaking gift, and I'm so glad I get to do this with you forever. Such amazing results. So freaking proud of the incredible women. It's just so amazing to watch a woman go from withering and miserable and low to like embracing and flying and using your wings. So if you want results like these, you've got to check out, come into, and be a part of the Purpose Program. Now, the Purpose Program is going to give you really simple strategies
to get out of your head and get into your body, to learn how to choose where you want to put your focus. So right now you have these subconscious stories running that are actually making you really unhappy, but it's not happening now. So I created out of my own need, because I was literally suicidal and at rock bottom, and I had tried everything I felt. I tried crazy stuff, so many things, and I ended up suicidal. So I thought, this is insane. I can't be like trying so hard and then being so unhappy and so miserable that I don't even want to be here. So what I did was I created this way to get out of my head and get in to my body. And in our body right now is really, sis, the only place where you feel safe. We can't feel safe in the past, and we can't feel safe about dreaming or freaking out about the future. And my jam is, the simpler it is, that the easier you can do it, right? It's like if you have one step, you can do that versus if you have 100. So I'm like, let's do this as fast as possible and have as much fun. So in the Purpose Program, you're gonna get everything that you need, super simple, catered to your schedule, and you'll learn the same things that I've learned and taught thousands of women all over the world too, to get out of their head, into their body, and choose their feelings and what they focus on and what thoughts they give energy to. Now, what you're gonna get in the Purpose Program is a community of hundreds and hundreds, so many goosebumps, of like-minded women. So this is the part where society comes in and it's like, you're a threat because you're prettier, and if you have a man, then that's threatening to me because there's not enough for me. And that's ego. That's not love. So what we get to do is actually really experience a sisterhood and like a family where so many women are so happy when you win and when you start making these shifts and growing your confidence and growing your power. And they're just as happy for you as if they did it. It's like next level. Every woman that's ever come in is like, I didn't even know this was possible. I was like, thank you. It's like so amazing. And I mean, there's so many parts of the Purpose Program. But another really amazing thing is you get support and a community and help and love and guidance for life. I tried again, so many programs that didn't work for me. Oh, here's 6 weeks. Okay, well, I felt a little bit okay for 6 weeks and then I dropped on my ass again, or 6 months or a year or whatever. But we're constantly evolving as humans. If we're not growing, we're dying. So that part, that access, you get support 24 hours a day for the rest of your life if you want. This is how we get the results. We grow together, we're invested, and we care. So if you're like, damn, I need to hear more about this, click the button below. You can hear more, everything that's included, and you can join the Purpose Program today. So excited. Hope to see you in there. Mwah! Bye, sis.